Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. It's finally time. I'm finally going to make a video I've been planning for almost 2 years. Let's talk about The Witcher 3 and why it totally fails as a role-playing game. Well, this is exciting, isn't it? I'm finally putting my thoughts about this subject into a video. It's been some time since I started this project. I mean, I've written 8 or so scripts. I started editing, I started recording, and then I scrapped it all because I didn't like how it was coming. So, I've changed it. I've not got a script. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so it might be a little bit garbled. I'll try fix that while editing. Hopefully it's alright. Now, I think it's important to clarify. Before we get into the video, I want to talk a little bit about my opinions of The Witcher 3. I like The Witcher 3. I think it's really fun. I like the story. A lot of the characters are very well written, but that doesn't make it an RPG. Having an interactive story, having a branching story, doesn't make a game a role-playing game. It's a hack and slash game with, light magic, and some roleplay elements, like you can customize your armor, and you can talk to people, so you've got branching storylines, but it's still only a hack and slash game. It's not like Oblivion, it's not like Kingdom Come Deliverance. You've got to have, more things than just that. For instance, maybe give me some character stats so that I can build a character custom to my playstyle. Can I do that in The Witcher 3? No, because The Witcher 3 has a very, very set kind of playstyle. That's hack and slash. It's a hack and slash playstyle with light magic elements, which basically just work as power-ups. And that's not a bad thing. That works for The Witcher 3, and it works for the kind of character you're playing as. But, and it is kind of a big but, it's not like any of the actual RPGs that are out there, because it fails as an RPG. It's not like Mass Effect. It's not like Dragon Age. It's not like any of them, because it's not a role-playing game. It is a very fixed game, very fixed style of gameplay. You can't really diversify the gameplay because that doesn't work. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk basics. The basics of role-playing games. We'll start with what I would argue the most integral part of a role-playing game. Any role-playing system, in fact. The character sheet. As you can see on a screen with me right now, are several character sheets from several different games. You'll notice they've all got stats, they've all got little bits and pieces telling you about your character, telling you about what they can do, what they can't do, little bits and pieces, so you can get an idea of how they build, what they're good at, what they're bad at, that sort of stuff, it's cool, it's great. It's so descriptive of the character that you get an idea of the character, which I think is very important in role-playing games. I mean, here, look at Kingdom Come Deliverance's stuff. You've got all of these different stats, and then you've got the different effects, you've got the different skills, loads and loads of ways for you to, maybe customize your playstyle to fit how you like to play, what's fun for you, interesting little things where you can customize your experience to what you like. Maybe next time you play through your character, it's nothing but muscle, He's nothing but blunt weapons, and he just smashes people. Next time, I'll have a stealth archer, the ultimate Skyrim build. Skyrim sucks as a role-playing game as well, but that's for different reasons. Now, I know I've been mainly focusing on games that are just action fantasy RPGs, but that's not the only type of game that actually fits as an RPG. You've got all sorts, For instance, let's talk a little bit about Battletech. Now, wait a minute. Battletech isn't like the other games I've mentioned. It's not. But it's still an RPG. It's a turn-based RPG, specifically. And it's fun as hell. You've still got everything. You've got stats. You've got loadout changes. You've got all these different things that you can change to build a character to fight or to deal with situations the way that you want them to deal with situations. And that is what makes it a role-playing game. You can approach situations differently. Here we go. Here's a little thing from The Witcher. I was playing The Witcher, and I come across this little gang here. Oh, a gang? Cool. What's this? Slavers? I wonder how I can deal with this situation. Maybe I can sneak in all stealthy like, find the slaves and free them, and then we can all disappear into the night. No, you can't do that. You see, there's no stealth in The Witcher 3. Oh, okay, that's cool. I have magic, right? Maybe I can cast huge magical spells and attack them from afar. No, you can't do that, mate. Sorry, there's no real there. You're not allowed to do that. You've got very limited magic. Sorry. Oh, okay. I can still do ranged attacks. No, not really. You've got like a light ranged weapon, but that's it. It doesn't do that much damage. Sorry. Oh, can I talk to them and like use charm and stuff, or intimidate them to make them like go away? No, you can't do that. You can't actually talk to them at all. Yeah. Oh. So I've just got to fight them and kill them then. Yep. Okay. It does get a little bit repetitive. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself again. I just keep doing this, guys. I'm so sorry. Let's bring it back. Bring it back a little bit. Rewind sounds, Let's talk a little bit more about other RPGs. Examples and stuff. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe there's other RPGs where you just can't do that. I know there are. There are other RPGs where you can't approach every single situation however you like. But if they put something like a gang of slavers somewhere, normally you'd be able to do something with that other than just attacking them. I mean, in Fallout, you do just get randomly attacked sometimes by slavers, but in main slaver camps and stuff, you can actually have conversations with them, and that's how you get the Mesmertron. I think one of the cooler weapons in Fallout 3. You get things like that in role-playing games, because you can approach situations differently, and you can get things that you would never see in another playthrough. And sure, you have that with The Witcher 3. You have very specific things that you can approach in different ways, where you can do that in dialogue. But it doesn't allow you to do that in actual gameplay. Dialogue's all well and good, but you can put a dialogue tree system into any game ever, and it doesn't just make it a role-playing game. And talking about any game ever, I think it's important to discuss the abundance of light RPG mechanics in games now. It's become quite a popular trend, it would seem, that role-playing mechanics, at least light ones, surface-level role-playing mechanics have been put into other games. You had it in Grand Theft Auto 5, you have it in Red Dead Redemption 2, you've got it in Just Cause 3 and Mad Max. They're not RPG games, but you've got all of these extra RPG mechanics just to pad the game out, where normally it would just be a progression system. And it's getting kind of annoying, honestly. All these games that are being classified as RPGs that just straight up aren't. They've basically got a slightly more fleshed out progression system, like you would have had in Jak and Daxter 2. Are you going to start telling me Jak and Daxter 2 is an RPG? Saints Row the Third is an RPG? They're not. They're just not, because all they actually are Saints Row the Third, for instance, is a third-person shooter with unlockables. It's just unlockables. They're not actually like role-playing games. You have unlockables, and it's just stupid. It's so stupid. And honestly, it's quite annoying to see the way that the title of role-playing games are just being given to all these games that really aren't. I will spend a lot of my evenings browsing through RPGs on Steam, and the amount of games that I find that are just, it's a hack and slash game, but look, you can get different skills. That makes it an RPG, right? Nope. No, it doesn't. Not in the slightest. If you want an actual RPG, play Dark Souls, play XCOM, play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. There are games that are actually RPGs that are amazing games. And then there are games like Tomb Raider with light RPG mechanics that are getting classified as RPGs. Now, because I feel like I've been a bit negative, let's talk a little bit about what The Witcher 3 does well. Because The Witcher 3 does a lot of stuff well. I really like the characterization. I really like the writing. I enjoy the gameplay. Specifically, I really like the combat. It is fun. It is so fun. Which is good, because it's the only way you can deal with most situations in the game. The upgrade and crafting systems are kind of boring, honestly. Leave a lot to be desired. They're fine, I guess. But they're really not that interesting. I like a lot of the loot stuff, like getting different bits of armor. But the problem is, a lot of like the late game armor, at least in my opinion, looks like shit. And I prefer a lot of the earlier armor. Like, I really like the Karamoran armor. I just like that armor. I think it looks cool. I'd like to wear that throughout the game. But you can't, because it's shit. And you're just gonna get wrecked if you wear it. Now, what does The Witcher 3 lack when it comes to gameplay? When it comes to RPG? It's all about the situations more than anything for me. It's the fact that I can't go into any situation I like as whatever character build I like. For instance, there's so many situations, because I like playing stealth characters a lot. I like stealth characters. The Thief series is one of my favorite series of games. So not being able to tackle anything as a stealth character in this kind of sucks. I don't like the fact that I can't play as a mage character, because I'd love to. Like, Jesus Christ, playing as like a Yennefer sort of character, or my girl Triss, would be amazing. I'd love that. That'd be so much fun. But you can't. And I think that's what brings us on to the one big problem with The Witcher 3. And that's Geralt. It's the fact that you play as Geralt. Or Ciri at some points, but that doesn't matter. It's the fact that you play as Geralt primarily. And that is why The Witcher 3 will never be... that's why none of the Witcher games could ever be a proper RPG. Because you play as Geralt, and Geralt is a fixed character. Geralt has a very specific set of skills. He's a very specific build. He's basically a paladin. He's like a less magical paladin in D&D. So you've got your very fixed fighting styles, you've got your very fixed magical abilities, which is very limited, and you've got your fixed skills. And that's fine. I don't think that's a bad thing. But if you want an RPG set in the Witcher world, it can't be about Geralt. You've got to either create your own character or have a series of characters you can select from. And that would actually allow you to create an interesting RPG set in the Witcher world, rather than, a well-written hack and slash game. I'm really glad I finally got this off my chest and made the video I wanted to make. It's a lot shorter than I was planning originally, but I really didn't feel the need to go into the history of role-playing games and stuff. Everyone knows them. Everybody knows about role-playing games. I'd like to hear your opinion, actually, more than anything else, on The Witcher 3. So don't forget to leave either a comment below or come and join my Discord where we can discuss it on there. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. And subscribe if you'd like to see more from my channel. Bye!